hello, friendy friends. I'm Tracy McCain here with meteorologist Christian Morgan, and this is After GMS. It is Friday, so we are feeling great, aren't we?
Free Friday.
Yes. Feeling energized. Well, if you watched the Duke game, I'm sure Bobby Odom, who's always on our feed, screaming about Duke.
There he is. He's here.
Is he awake? Because the game was a late one.
Yeah.
And it was full of excitement. We're going to have a full recap in just a few.
I went to bed and it didn't look good. And then I woke up this morning and said, oh, miracles do happen.
Was it a miracle or was it just the Coach K effect?
Yeah, that could be it, too.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Yeah. I'm going to get you guys to the Elite Eight if you know it's best for you. That Coach K. Who knows?
Coach K.
All right, we're going to talk about it in just a few minutes. First, we have to get to your forecast, and we have some other conversations too.
Yeah, finally, the weather is going to get a little quieter as we head into the weekend. We've been dealing with clouds for the past few days, and boy, this is a sight for sore eyes, isn't it? Sunrise, sun coming up in downtown High Point. It is a chilly start, upper 30s near 40 in High Point right now, and a pretty diverse temperature map. If you were joining us on the Good Morning Show, you know early this morning we had some clouds, and so really from the triad and points well to our east, that extra cloud cover helped keep those areas a little bit warmer. Different story if you go back to the west where there was some clearing skies overnight, and that allowed folks to cool down a little bit more than it did down to our east. So 40s in the mountains and foothills, near 60 down east, and we're kind of stuck in the middle in the upper 40s to near 50 in the triad. This is all that's left of that big system that's been wreaking havoc over the United States and really across the deep south since early in the week. Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, New Orleans, Georgia, and even the Carolinas had a little bit of severe weather on Wednesday, and the coast has been dealing with rain since yesterday morning at 2 a.m. I think they're about done with rain. Don't you think so? This cold front is a slow mover, though. Finally moving away, rain coming to an end there as we go into your Friday, and our clouds clearing as that front pushes off the coast. And then behind that, well, that's pretty quiet weather for the rest of the country, and that's what's going to be building in as we go into the weekend. Strong area of low pressure moving away from us, high pressure building in. Those big pressure contrast and differences are what create the wind that we'll get. So we'll have a breezy afternoon of weather today and then an even windier day of weather on your Saturday. Of course, on the heels of that cold front, cooler air is going to be building in as we go into the weekend as well. So for the third Saturday in a row, you can plan on it being windy. So make sure you hold on to your hats and your Saturday shopping bags and small dogs and all of those light things that will blow away.
Did you say small dogs?
I did say small dogs. Cats too. High pressure builds in, and that remains in control of our weather over the weekend. Breezy with some 25-mile-per-hour gusts today, and then as we go into your Saturday, especially in the afternoon, I told you, hold on to that stuff. 30 to 40-mile-per-hour gusts Saturday. Still a breezy on Sunday, but nothing crazy. Plan for today is a partly sunny sky, maybe a sprinkle this afternoon, but I wouldn't hang my hat on that. Most of us are going to stay dry. Weekend looks like this. It's cooler and windy on Saturday, and check out that morning low on Sunday. We'll be down around freezing not only Sunday, but also Monday morning as well. So there could be some patchy frost across the area to keep an eye on Sunday morning and Monday morning as well. Start out next week cool, but gradually warm back up. Low 60s and a small shower chance on Tuesday, and then a better shower chance as we go into late next week with temperatures back in the 70s.
I don't think I'm ready for frost or any conversations about frost, but it's kind of one of those things that happens.
It's kind of one we haven't really come out of that time period yet, but it still is a little hard to fathom now. You have the really nice days, and now we're talking about frost. And it's also a good reminder too. I know it's really tempting to want to plant things and go out gardening with the nice weather that we've had, but still I would say caution on that, because we can still have cold mornings, we can still have some frost, and that would damage any of the hard work that you put in the garden. So
that's what I'm going to tell my
kids
hold off when they're like, "Mom, let's go play in the dirt and plant stuff." I'm like, "Oh no, there's still a chance of frost. Let's just back off on that, you know." All right, let's get into our first conversation this morning. It has to be about March Madness. It really is that maddening time of year where you just don't know how a game is going to roll here. Duke and Coach K still dancing though. Top seeds Arizona and Gonzaga are out. Yeah. How's everybody's brackets hanging in there? Do you still have your champion?
No.
Still playing?
Arizona was my champion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Gonzaga was a close second.
I did not having Gonzaga actually going pretty far.
I had them winning this, but then losing in the next round.
Yeah. I don't know if they've won a national championship, have they?
They seem to do this thing.
They go so close.
They always come so close to about this point, and they're always rated like a 1 or 2 seed.
Right.
And then we get to this point, and they always lose out here, and we always wonder why they're still ranked, you know, a 1 or 2 seed at that point.
Exactly.
It's just like the Gonzaga curse, I guess, if you will. So,
yeah,
they're out.
Because I remember Gonzaga played Duke one year.
That's right.
And did not win.
No.
They played UConn one year in about this. I think it was for the national championship, and they did not win. They came close so many times. So I didn't have them in my bracket going very far because I just figured it's not happening.
You were right. It's not happening.
Right. So, you know, my bracket actually looks still pretty decent, but I have Carolina and Duke going into the Final Four.
See, I wanted, just because I'm a Carolina fan, I wanted them to go all the way, but I just couldn't put, I guess I didn't have faith in my own team, to carry them all the way through to the end.
Oh, that's awful.
Sorry.
It's awful. All right.
However, I want them to prove me wrong. I want them to win tonight.
Yes. Yes. And you know, this is Hubert Davis's first season as head coach, but he's been with this team for several years, helped bring on a lot of these players in terms of recruiting, and has helped, you know, coach them in different aspects as assistant coach. And so now he's stepped into the head coach position, but he knows his players, and he knows how to use them, and he knows how to motivate them. And I really do see this team going pretty far.
He's done a really, really good job.
He really has.
What an inaugural season for him as head coach. I mean, it's been, of course, as any team, you're going to have ups and downs, and it's a learning curve coming in with a new coach, because he probably does things different than Roy Williams did. But to see them kind of latch on to his coaching style and really go from, you know, being really hot and really cold at the beginning of the season to now kind of evening things out and seeing them carry through this tournament, at least up to this point. We'll see what happens tonight, but I mean, that's a huge feat for Coach Davis.
I think they're both playing, our Carolina teams, I should say, on the men's side, are both playing for different reasons. You know, Coach K's last season, Coach Davis's first. You know, I mean, I think there's a lot of, and not only that, but the athletes themselves want it for themselves. You know what I mean? After a few years of COVID and all the testing that they still have to do, I mean, I'm sure they're like, we're making this worth it.
I think, especially last week when we saw Duke win, and then last Sunday when we saw them win, and now advance here to the Sweet 16, I don't think you're going to see a more genuine and big smile from Coach K than what you saw last Sunday night and what you saw last night, you know, and through this tournament. Because now it's really a, you know, keep going or end it for good for Coach K. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, can you imitate how he celebrated the win last night?
What, like this?
It was like all over the place. If somebody was in his face, he would have hit him, because he was like punching the air. I mean, it was like so funny, but also genuine.
It was.
You know,
he was
could
so
tell
excited.
he was happy.
And I love to see him walk in. I love to see him walk into the, you know, walk into the arena, walk into the court, holding his hand with his wife, you know, and they're walking into this, and it's pretty, you know, especially for big Duke fans. I'm a Carolina fan, but for big Duke fans, you know, it's really emotional.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to talk about this with all of y'all. I hope this gives you enough time to write in the feed about your brackets and about Duke Carolina. But let's go over where our things stand for our North Carolina teams right now. So Duke beat Texas Tech last night. They move on to the Elite Eight in a most exciting way. UNC practiced yesterday. They play UCLA in the Sweet 16 tonight. The UNC women's team faces off against South Carolina tonight as well, this time inside the Greensboro Coliseum right here at home. And the NC State women take on Notre Dame Saturday in Connecticut. So we still have 4 teams who are dancing.
It's pretty good.
I think in terms of states and state colleges, we have the most in the tournament right now, which is amazing, but it's also kind of like what we're used to. You know what I mean?
It was funny yesterday. We had a staff cookout after our noon show here for our staff here at News 2, and I was at a table, and of course, you know, when you work in this business, some people are from here, but most folks are not from North Carolina who work in our building. And it was so funny. We were talking about March Madness as, you know, when we were a kid and how they were in school. And, you know, if you lived or you grew up in North Carolina as a kid, or you have, you know, kids who've grown up here, you know, like the thing used to be when I was at school during March Madness, they would roll that TV out on that cart and you would watch March Madness during class. And I was telling one of our producers that works on the night side about this, and he's like, what are you What are you talking about? I was like, yeah, and I think he's from Georgia. And I was like, yeah, y'all didn't do that down there.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised because they have some sports. And the SEC, the Bulldogs, of course. I mean, I don't know. I just think they're big on sports too. But
yeah, we were just talking about, how big it is to have so many of these ACC teams,
yeah.
in North Carolina,
Right.
and how big that is to have
true.
them in the tournament this late in the game.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was just trying to think. I'm like, Georgia's rival is actually like Auburn, isn't it? No.
Is it Auburn?
I don't know. We need somebody from UGA here. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what we know about, which is our North Carolina team. So let's see what people are saying. Rebecca says, go Duke all the way. Christian said, let's go Heels. Joanne said, sorry, my dear Kentucky boys are out. Not rooting for Duke, so UNC all the way. Let's see what else we have on here. Sorry, why does it always do this? Why it repeats itself? I just don't know. But anyway, let us know, how you guys are feeling about, Carl Royster, here we go, said, I hate Duke with a passion. But that was a good game. Let's go UNC. They have both been some really last minute, down to the wire games in this not Sweet 16, but in this tournament.
You've had to watch the entire game each time. You couldn't just watch it and turn it off halfway through and know what the outcome was going to be. And that's what I think has been so great. And what is usually so great about this tournament. But the Carolina game was down to the wire last Saturday. The Duke game was down to the wire against Michigan State last Sunday. Last night it was a good battle back and forth. I think I mentioned earlier, when I went to bed last night, I was like, well, this doesn't really look too good right now. I guess I'm going to go to bed. And then I woke up and things were totally different. So it ended up being a really good game, and that's just kind of
where it's going.
Kind of the theme of March Madness, of course. So we'll see. I guess it'll be everybody on the edge of our seats tonight for the Carolina UCLA game.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody really expected Arkansas to beat out Gonzaga at this point, but that's the whole point of March Madness.
Nobody expected St. Peter's to go this far either.
That's also correct.
But I would, if Carolina doesn't win, I would love to see them go all the way. I just think it would be a huge, talk about madness, upset, success story. That would be awesome.
I have them going all the way.
Wow.
Everything is planning out.
Wow.
Almost perfectly.
Where did you get your information from?
I just follow my heart. And see, this is the problem. I don't know if you were here this time, but remember I told you I don't submit my brackets anymore because
You did say that.
I typically, I think I do a good job,
You
right?
do a good job. That's why you should submit.
No, because every time I submit, people are like, who filled out your bracket? You didn't do your bracket. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, listen, I just happen to just go with my gut and pick teams that I feel are going to do well.
Cheer for yourself inside.
It's all in the heart.
All right.
So also on the women's side, we should mention those games right here in Greensboro. Some of them anyway. UNC taking on South Carolina tonight. They have a strong squad that since Dawn Staley has taken over the program at South Carolina, they have really changed things around. You used to not see them in the running for championships, and then they started winning championships in 2017, but they were in the Final Four last year on the women's side, and they are in the Sweet 16 this year up against our Carolina ladies. So
good stuff.
We have a test in front of us.
Yeah.
I say we like I'm on the sideline. Put me in, coach. I'm ready for that brick. But yeah, I think that in the end, Carolina's going to give it a good fight, and I think that we could take this on the women's side, and I'll be watching NC State too.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Guys and girls, go Heels.
All right, let's go ahead and get to your headlines before we get to our other talker about allergy season. All right, after spending decades in prison, a North Carolina woman is free this morning. April Barber was convicted in her grandparents' murder in 1992. Governor Roy Cooper granted her clemency earlier this month. Barber entered prison when she was 15. She left yesterday at 45. Guilford County Schools is getting an extra $2 million to help address learning loss during the pandemic. The district will use the money to expand its tutoring program. The extra funds will let them offer sessions to more students and for more subjects. Congresswoman Kathy Manning helped secure the funding, which came from the government funding bill President Joe Biden signed earlier this month. Reynolds American says it will cut 350 jobs in the next 3 years. Facilities in Winston-Salem and Oxford near Raleigh will relocate to Tobaccoville. More than half of the impacted workforce can choose to relocate. 350 people will lose their jobs, and Reynolds expects to go forward with these changes by 2025. The city of Winston-Salem hopes to fill more than 100 open positions at a job fair today. They're looking for people to work in several departments, including community development, financial management, transportation, and utilities. That job fair is from 9 this morning until 4 in the afternoon at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds in the Education Building. So, does anybody have their allergy meds ready this morning?
Me.
You might need them. And it's because of the warmer spring weather. Also, of course, that affects the eyes, the pollen, sneezing, coughing, you name it. We want to know, how are your allergies right now? And while you put your answer in the chat, we want you to check out this survey about why it might be worse if you live in Greensboro.
Yeah, the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America actually ranked the top 100 major cities with a pollen score. Greensboro ranked 32nd. The city ranked slightly above average for pollen, and Winston-Salem was next on the list, closest city with at number 54, with a score a little below average, actually.
Okay, so basically we're pretty bad here in terms of allergies, is what that says, just to make it, and I believe it, because every time, spring happens, you feel the allergy season before the calendar flips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you have a tree allergy, you have been suffering for more than a month.
Oh yeah, absolutely. At this point, we're starting to see the tree pollen really ramp up, and it's kind of like you give it a little bit to get a little bit part of spring. As the weather warms up, as the weather gets nicer, the pollen gets worse.
Right.
And especially on windy days, like we're going to have this weekend, it's not going to be all that. It's really not going to be. It's going to be cool this weekend in the 50s, but it's going to be windy both Saturday and Sunday. So you can plan on the pollen being bad. And I haven't really noticed it too much up until the last couple days. And yesterday when I got in my truck, I have a silver truck, and I was like, why is there this yellow, there's this yellow film on this?
You're like, time to go wash it.
Oh, here we go. And so at this point in the year, we're talking about tree pollen, and it usually peaks around April, and then things get a little better on that front. But then you also start to ramp up on the grass pollen as we head into summer, and then weed pollen's usually the latest. So of course, trees and grass are what seem to really get people the most. And I'm at this point now, like if I don't take my allergy medicine every day, it really grates on me. And then if I go play golf, it won't bother me the next day. Then it's like 2 days after, and I am suffering.
Right. So do you take allergy medication all year, or just during springtime?
I just take it during spring, summer, and fall. I have some fall allergies too.
Okay. So my husband takes his allergy medicine all year round, and it was so bad when he was younger, he had to take injections for it. Ooh. And so it's no surprise that our children also have bad allergies. I also have allergies, but it's more of a fresh grass situation than it is a tree situation, and it usually goes away without medication. So I'm usually okay. But my kids have to keep taking medicine, and they take it all year round. Ooh. Yeah, but they don't have to do injections, which is good.
That's good.
But my husband played soccer, so I'm like, are you really allergic to grass? I mean, I just don't get it, because he used to get out of mowing the lawn because of his allergies, and I'm like, but you run on grass. Anyway. So that's a different argument for another story. I'm just hoping Josiah doesn't try to get away with that, because it's not happening.
Just so you know, you can't get away with that.
You're not going to get away with it.
Mine have gotten worse in the last few years too. I mean, I used to be able to I could go outside and roll around in a pile of pollen, and it wouldn't bother me.
Don't roll around in it.
I mean, I wouldn't suggest doing that. But over the last probably 4 or 5 years, they seem to get a little worse each year.
Yeah, and I feel like people who just live here or just move here underestimate allergy season, and then it really hits them harder than it did wherever they were from.
Yeah.
Stacy, I'm thinking of Stacy Spivey's particularly, because she's just like, what is up with y'all? All right, let's see what happens here on our feed. Dana said, Greensboro's allergies are partly why I moved. My allergies are so bad when I'm there. Oh, see, kind of support for that. She said she had to do injections in Greensboro. When she moved, she stopped all the meds. Nice.
Wow.
Cherie said, no issues yet with allergies. Rebecca says, I take allergy medicine every day, so right now my allergies are under control. And I guess that's what you have to do to keep it under control, is to continue.
Take it consistently.
Yeah, not just when it spikes. Let's see. Joanne says, my Kentucky home is known as Sinus Valley, so I'm used to it. Still don't like it. She has year-round allergies. Wow. Let's see here. And it looks like, you know, a lot of people. Oh, Connie, I'm so sorry. I gave some love for the NC State women, I promise. They are the #1 seed, and by the way, they're on my bracket to win the whole thing. So let's do it. But yes, going back to our allergy conversation, you know, it's just kind of one of those things where if you have allergies, you know how to take care of yourself. If you're just now starting to like feel like, oh, my eyes are itching, I don't know why, it is so important to just go to the doctor and get it checked out, because sometimes over-the-counter stuff isn't enough.
No, and sometimes, you know, a couple years ago, one thing over-the-counter worked for me, and now it doesn't work anymore, and I had to switch. So I'm doing something different now, and that seemed to have worked the last couple of years. So I'm hoping I'll be able to hold it out without having to go to the doctor and switch it up and change it. So
Zyrtec, that's over-the-counter, right?
That's over-the-counter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there used to be one that wasn't over-the-counter.
I'm trying to remember what that was.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Maybe it was
Zyrtec's
Zyrtec. Yeah.
And usually now it's like the capsules or the pills don't really work for me. I have to do the nasal sprays.
Oh, wow.
Which I hate.
You're really into it.
But I don't want to suffer.
Take a picture next time you have like a flare-up. Take a picture so I can see just how bad it is. I just want to know. But I mean, obviously take care of yourself. I don't want you to have any problems.
Tracy just wants to see me suffer.
I just want to see a picture. I'm picturing you like Hitch, okay? Have you guys seen the movie Hitch with Will Smith? And you know, he has an allergy to, I think, shells. He eats, it's a food allergy, not a.
Yeah, shellfish allergy.
Yeah, exactly. And so his eyes get big, his lips, his nose, everything, his ears, everything is huge. And he goes to the store and he's like drinking like allergy medicine. And he licks himself. Have you seen this movie?
I haven't.
Okay, good. So you know what I'm talking about. I was thinking it could be like that.
It doesn't go, it's not that bad.
Okay.
I just get all stuffed up, my eyes get red. Nothing really puffs up too much.
That would have been fun.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry to let you down.
It's okay. All right, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast so you can plan your weekend.
Yeah, that wind will be whipping around, of course, which will make the allergies a little worse this weekend. And it's not really too bad today. We have a partly sunny sky, and we're still relatively warm in the mid-60s. Wind gusts around 25 miles per hour. Then the cooler air really starts to take effect as we go into your Saturday and Sunday. Could be a sprinkle or a stray shower again on Saturday, but it's really a cool and windy day of weather, especially in the afternoon. Highs will be in the mid-50s, and that wind will be whipping around 30 to 40 miles per hour. So that's going to be a chilly day and really not all that pleasant to be outside. Of course, as we head into your Sunday and round out the weekend, temperatures will drop down to around freezing Sunday morning. We have a cool finish on Sunday with sunshine and mid-50s, and then notice those morning lows. Sunday and Monday will be around freezing, if not a little below in some areas. So there could be some patchy frost Sunday and Monday morning. We start out cool near 60 for Monday afternoon, low 60s on Tuesday with a small chance of a stray shower there, and then we warm it back up middle of the week into the 70s, and our next best chance for rain, I think, doesn't come for about 6 days out on Thursday.
I'm kind of in denial about Saturday and Sunday.
Well, I'll walk outside tomorrow morning.
I guess, it'll hit me and I'll be like, whoa, it really is here. I just thought we were done with the 50s.
It's a lot. We're at that point in the year where it's a whole lot harder to keep sustained cold weather around for a while, but we can still have a couple days and a couple little spells of it too.
Right, but it's okay because that jump from Tuesday to Wednesday is so nice. Or maybe it was Wednesday
low
to Thursday.
60s to the low 70s. We can handle that.
I can do that. All right, thanks so much for joining us on After GMS. Been so much fun talking with all of you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Let's take a look at the best of GMS.
See you.
Take care.
Well, good Sunday morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us today. Is that a joke?
That's Jeffrey playing with the sound effects.
I've been feeding the chickens out in the weather garden, okay?
Oh, no.
I have a lot of emotions going on right now. That was too much.
I liked it. That was cool.
Sydney's
Jeffrey,
going to need a minute.
You are not forgiven.
Oh, it's me. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was
Here
off
we
the
go
top.
again.
Guys, it's a very special day. In fact,
Oh, you left me hanging.
gotta bring out the
my
sunglasses.
We love to see it. 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 We love to see it.
Thank you guys so much for choosing to wake up with us on this Tuesday morning. We've had a couple of
No, wait, today's Wednesday, isn't
Today
it?
is Wednesday. I didn't even catch that, honestly.
You know, that's what happens when you're filling in on the Good Morning Show and your body's a little
You need
tired.
that coffee.
She's ready for the sunshine.
I'm trying to be professional and hold it together, and I just have to laugh.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it's a brand new season, the first full week of spring, off to a warm start. Your forecast Monday.
And can NC parents receive state funding to homeschool kids? We verified Monday on the Good Morning Show. I didn't. I said homeschool.
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 Well, it's a brand new season, the first full week of spring, off to a warm start.
And can NC parents receive state funding to homeschool? Oh my gosh.
A homeschool. Give it up for
Gonna
your
be on the
homeschool
best
team.
of GMS again, Christian.